Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Being a daddy right now, you know what I mean? But I had to go live. I had to go live to talk about this. I had to go live to talk about this, man. Yeah, I actually just saw the dollar holding on to Marnis. I didn't see that though. I did not see that. When everything was real time, I didn't see that, man. Did Marnie even protest? I don't think he did. I don't think he did. I don't know what happened there, but from the replay, it does look like Darlow tries to pull Marnie back by hugging his leg or something. This is crazy. This was a crazy game. I don't know how Liverpool didn't score here, but you got to give it to Darlow, man. You got to give it to Carl Darlow, man of the match. Man of the match, Carl Darlow. I know Liverpool. No. Now I'm looking back at this whole situation with Sadio Mane. I know Liverpool fans are gonna cry about VAR now. I know that. And from the replay, I guess you guys have all right to. You have all right to. Because maybe that should have been looked into. Maybe that should have been looked into. But it's a stalemate. From what I heard during the match, Liverpool and Newcastle has not played to a 0-0 draw since about 1970 something. So it's like, wow, no one expected this result. I predicted a draw here. I predicted a draw for this one. I never expected this one to end in a 0-0 draw. Never did. But Liverpool, you had your chances, man. You had your chances. You had to score. Even though we are all going to give the goalkeeper Carl Darlow the credit, who was on the bench the last time Newcastle beat Liverpool, he would feel like this is a win again. Because 1 point against the champions, 1 point against the runners-up in Man City, this is a huge result, man. This is a huge result for Newcastle, who are currently struggling. They have been struggling. The squad have been struggling with a lot of COVID-19 positive cases, injuries in between, few suspensions here and there. And their squad is all over the place. And for them to actually come today and put out a performance like this, minus the Carl Darlow hug on Mane's leg that everybody, including the referee and VAR, seemed to miss. Because I missed it. When it just happened, I honestly missed that. Everything happened so quick, man. You know, sometimes when you're watching the games on a tablet or your phone, you miss these little things. You definitely miss these little things. But apart from that, I think Newcastle played very, very well. They started strongly. They created an early chance to Callum Wilson. They were actually taking the game to Liverpool. They didn't really sit back too much and try to, soak up the pressure early on. They tried to take the game to Liverpool, and they look good. They look really, really good going forward. But around the 25th minute or so, Liverpool got their stronghold on the game and just kept creating all these chances, man. That Salah chance that Darlow saved, oh my God. Salah, some may argue that you should have put that away. Others may say great heroics by Carl Darlow, who, who I think should keep his place. I did mention this in a live stream earlier. He got to keep his place simply because the man has been brilliant for Newcastle and he kept a clean sheet today. Dubravka, who had an ankle injury, fit again. He's fit again, but I think he should be the number 2 right now because Carl Darlow has been at the club for so long and he is seizing his opportunity. You see what I'm saying? He's taking his opportunity, and that was a big save by Mo Salah's shot. The Firmino header, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Trent Alexander-Arnold, he had a shot, he scuffed it. There was another Firmino chance. Liverpool, the Mane situation, Liverpool had their chances, man. They had their chances, and they should have punished Newcastle. And this is something that they failed to do, but Shout outs to everybody who chose to show up to this live stream today. We got 53 people up in here right about now. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button on the video right about now. I see Ryan LFC in the stream. Ryan, how are you doing, bro? How are you doing today? You know what I mean? I didn't really get a chance to, hit you back, but I've been busy, man. It hasn't been a great day at the office for me at all in terms of, me at work. You know what I'm saying? Got in a little trouble at work today, lipping off to the manager. Not the manager, the boss. Lipping off to the big boss. Like the final boss in the game. The final boss in the game wants smoke with me. You know what I'm saying? And when you're right, people don't want to admit you're right. But I have a bad day at the office today, and so did Liverpool. But you know who did not have a bad day at the office? Newcastle United, man. You got to give them props for this draw. They got lucky. They got really lucky. Newcastle got really lucky. Good performance, but they got lucky. When in retrospect, that Mane hole, that was a hole back, man. That was a hole back. That was a full hug on his leg. That was a full, woo, give me that hug, baby, on Sadio Mane's leg by Carl Darlow. I don't know how they got away with that. Really don't know. I see people saying I'm happy. Listen, in terms of a City fan and, Liverpool dropping points, of course I'm happy. But apart from that, it is what it is, man. What am I supposed to do? I'm not out there playing. I'm not refereeing the games. It is what it is. Let's give props when props due. Newcastle, they played well enough to get a point, but I predicted Liverpool to win the game. They should have won the game. Judging from the stats here, it should have won the game. 11 shots at goal, 4 on target, 74% of the ball. Dominated the passing, controlled the game. They played well. They just couldn't score. And it's been happening a lot this season. This is Liverpool's 6th draw. This is crazy. This is 6 draws for Liverpool this season. 6, This is 6 draws. Liverpool have now dropped 15 points this season, which means they can only get a maximum of 99 again. So if Liverpool are to reach their tally from last season, they have to win all remaining 22 matches this season. And that looks like an unlikely probability. Very, very unlikely. So a lot of draws, man. A lot of draws. You know what I'm saying? Draw to City, draw to Everton, Brighton, Fulham, West Brom, and now Newcastle. Liverpool also a stat. Liverpool have dropped points against teams way down in the bottom of the table. Newcastle, Brighton, Fulham, West Brom. 4 teams, 14th and back. That's 6. You know what I'm saying? That is bad. Last 7 teams in the table, you drop points like that. That's not good. And like Ryan was saying, it seems like Liverpool only up for the challenge when they're playing the big boys. You know what I'm saying? When they're playing the big boys, they're up for the challenge, but it seems like a little complacency creeps into the game whenever they're playing the smaller teams. Or you could look at it from another angle and say the smaller teams are just more hungry. They're very, very hungry, and they're desperate for points right now. They're very, very desperate for points, and they're very difficult to play against. Very, very difficult. You know what I'm saying? But Newcastle, look, they created a few opportunities. One can remember that big save. Kieran Clark, Alisson Becker, big save to his left. And this is what's been happening to City a lot of times over the last season and a half or so. Teams are sitting back, taking their chances and scoring on us and beating us 1-0 and 2-1 on these kind of margins. It could have been a similar situation here today for Liverpool. Only 26% of the ball for Newcastle. They probably had a Liverpool player on the field who completed more passes than them because they only had a 66% pass accuracy out of 240 passes. So that literally means Newcastle probably got like around 150 passes completed, which is crazy. You have to win these games, Liverpool. Listen, you have to win these games. But how's everybody in the chat doing right now? I'm not having the best of days, but I'm alive and I'm well. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be all right. I'll be all right. You know what I mean? I'm blessed. I'm blessed. You see what I'm saying? I'm blessed, man. No weapon formed against me shall conquer. You see what I'm saying? Look, man. Look. Darlow. Carl Darlow. Man of the match. Man of the match. I think Fernandez, Shaw, Clark, Richie, Yedlin, Newcastle's back five were like the Furious Five. See what I'm saying? They were awesome. They were awesome. They defended well. Despite Liverpool getting a few chances, these guys defended for their lives. A lot of clearances, close calls, and they squeezed out a freaking point here. A very unlikely point. I think Callum Wilson played well. Joel Linton held up the ball well. Matty Longstaff, he did his thing, squeezing his brother Sean out the team. Jacob Murphy worked hard. And is he Josh or Jacob? Yeah, that's Jacob. And Isaac Hayden did his thing, dirty work in the midfield. He would miss the next game. They played well. They deserve a point. Miguel Almiron came on and worked his socks off. So did Jamal Lewis at the end. We saw a return of Thiago Alcantara off the bench. And to be honest, I don't think he had a great effect on the game because I didn't hear his name called a lot of times. Maybe I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? But maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't notice him. I didn't notice him when he came on. He got roughed up a few times. That's all I could remember. That is all I could remember. You see what I mean? But I see people in here saying that City fan happy that Liverpool dropped points and all of that and this is that and whatever. Guys, of course I'm happy. Of course. But I'm not out here celebrating, having a party or anything. You see what I mean? But I'm happy as a City fan that you drop points. Of course. Keep dropping points. Thank you very much. But that's not why I'm here. That is not why I'm here. I'm not here to celebrate. You see what I'm saying? I'm not here to celebrate. Alisson, hardly anything to do in the match, but when he was called upon, he was big, man. He was big. It was a weird team Liverpool fielded today. Milner in the middle, coming up against his old team. Nat Phillips starting instead of Reece Williams. A lot of people expected Reece Williams to start. Trent Alexander-Arnold. I see Newcastle was exploiting the right side over there a lot. You know what I mean? Work on your defending, Trent. Work on your defending. Robertson did his thing. Henderson as well. Jones, I think, did well, despite getting taken off at the end there. Salah taken off. Not scoring again. Roberto Firmino and Mane. All front three almost scored, but just wasn't their day. We had Wijnaldum, who I think should have started the game. Maybe you would have seen a different outcome. Thiago Alcantara and Xherdan Shaqiri brought on in the dying embers of the game to try to actually, do something magical. Came up with nothing. So Michael Ramsey is saying, I'm happy Rubbish Jones plays. Jones is surely turning Klopp into one swan song wonder. Yo, Michael Ramsey, you cracked me up, bro. You cracked me up. But thank you very much for the $5 super chat. I think Curtis Jones is a solid young player. And Klopp is actually pushing him quite a lot. Pushing him a lot. And I think he deserves it, and he worked his way to get here. But when you're playing, you need assists and goals. I think you need to start contributing in that aspect of the game. I know people may say goals and assists is not all of it, but that's how you're gonna win games. 0-0 today proves my point. Goals and assists, numbers don't lie. You need goals, you need assists to win games, or else 0-0, you pick up a point or no point. But well played. Well played, Newcastle, man. Well played. Well played. Let me see what you guys are actually saying here in the chat. Let me see if you guys have any questions or any points to make them now. Definitely make them now. But more points dropped by Liverpool. More points. More points. So Newcastle, they're still 14th in the league. They have 19 points this season. 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 L's in their last 5. They have been, enduring a tough period. As I mentioned earlier, the team, couldn't train for some time, and, they're dealing with the whole COVID-19 situation that has been very, very prominent in the last couple of days, with the City-Everton game being postponed and the match between Tottenham and Fulham being postponed today, and about 30 matches across the English Football League system being postponed as well. So if you guys did not know that, there has been a lot of postponements in the lower leagues as well. This COVID-19 thing ain't no joke, man. It ain't no joke. It ain't nothing to joke around about. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. Like today I was thinking, my boss at work, he's acting like this, you know what I mean? He's acting like a little fool, and he don't realize there's COVID-19 going around, you know what I mean? He's trying to be vindictive, and he's trying to be an asshole, basically. And something in my mind was telling him, yo, there's COVID-19 going around and you behaving like this. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is not the time for this, you know what I mean? We need to be nicer. We need to be nicer towards each other. But I'll leave that for another conversation, man. But what are you guys saying? Broadberry said, what do you think about people saying that VAR is against Liverpool? I think that is total harsh shite. That's what I think it is. I don't think VAR is against anybody. I think VAR hurts every team and helps every team at times. It's not perfect. When you have humans doing it, it's not perfect. You see what I'm saying? It is not perfect at all. So I don't think VAR is actually against Liverpool. I know Liverpool fans are gonna come out. I know the videos are gonna be made. But to be honest, I didn't see anything when that happened. Maybe it looks worse than it is. Maybe in the slow motion, that didn't come out good. But maybe in the slow motion replay, it looks worse. Marnie didn't complain. See what I'm saying? So, Dupe, you're saying it. Salah, sitters. They had the chances. They should have scored. Lift the ball higher. Put it in the V. But every day can't, you can't do the same thing. Every day is not the same. Salah did score some spectacular goals just the other day. That was against who? Was that against it was Crystal Palace, right? Every day you're not going to do that. You see what I'm saying? And I always say this, it's not one team playing on the park. 2 teams are playing. 2 teams. And Newcastle, they put bodies behind the ball. They didn't allow Liverpool to come deep with the ball, to cross it into the box on many occasions. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, I'm talking about. And they negated the threat on many occasions. But they have their goalkeeper to blame. Their goalkeeper here, listen, the goalkeeper deserves all the praises. All the praises for this one. If it wasn't for him, it would have maybe been a thrashing again. It would have been a thrashing again. So look, right about now, with 16 games played, Liverpool 33 points. Man United, they have 15 matches. They have 1 game in hand. And their goal difference is not as good as Liverpool's goal difference. So they would have to score about 10 or so on their weekend fixture. They're playing Aston Villa. That's going to be a difficult game. But if they win on Sunday, they potentially can catch Liverpool on points. Liverpool play next Monday, if I can recall. Next Monday. So Liverpool, watch your backs, man. Teams are coming for you. Teams are coming for you, man. You know what I mean? And I asked Ryan this question. I asked him this question just the other day. I said, Ryan, if you guys are surpassed in the table. Like, if you end up being fourth in the table, like on match week 23 or so, 6 points behind the top teams or the second teams or what, how would you approach this? How do you feel? And he was confused. He is like, it's like the man had seen a ghost or heard his dead grandfather's voice or something. You see what I'm saying? And I don't mean to bring up memories of your dead grandfather or anything, but he was like, whoa, what are you whoa, what do you mean? I mean, if you get caught, how would you approach this? Because this is a weird season. This is a weird season. City not scoring goals. Liverpool dropped points in 7 matches already. Like, this is weird. 7 games. 7. You got Chelsea with 4 losses. 3 of them coming in the last couple of games. They're dropping points. They have 5 draws. They're worse. They got 26 points. They drop points in 9 games. You got Man City already dropping points in 7 games as well. Tottenham in 8 games. You know what I mean? So it's a weird one. It is a weird one. Klopp will not be pleased. Definitely won't be pleased. I'm curious to hear what Jurgen Klopp has to say in his post-match interview. I'm really curious. Let me see what Jurgen Klopp has to say here. Let me see if the interview is up. I want to hear what he has to say. I don't know if the interview is up yet. It's probably not up. You know what I'm saying? It's probably not up. I don't think it's up yet. The match just finished. So I would want to hear his excuse today. I want to hear the excuses today. Seriously. Yeah, it's not up yet. It ain't up yet. But look, I want to hear what Klopp has to cry about today. A lot of sideline antics. I want to hear what he has to say today. But at the end of the day, Liverpool are still on top. And that's what matters the most. 1 point from the game, still on top, 33 points. Until the other teams catch up, Liverpool fans are always going to say, hey, man, we're still on top. But 3 draws in the last 5 games is not very good. It ain't good. It's not good. And you guys know this. Man. You guys know this. A lot of inconsistency creeping into Liverpool's game here. A lot of close finishes. A blowout here. Crystal Palace. Close finish to Tottenham. Look at this. Look, these are the last couple fixtures for Liverpool, right? Several fixtures. 0-0, Newcastle. 1-1, West Brom. 7-0, Crystal Palace. That's a win. Beat Tottenham 2-1. But hear this now. 1-1 to Fulham, 1-1 to Midtjylland. They beat Wolves 4-0, beat Ajax 1-0, 1-1 to Brighton, 2-0 loss to Atalanta. They did beat Leicester 3-0, but then there's a 1-1 draw against Man City. You see what I'm saying? So I went back all the way to November, where there was also a 5-0 win against Atalanta. But since that 5-0 win against Atalanta, how many wins have Liverpool picked up in all their matches? They beat Leicester. They beat Wolves, beat Ajax, beat Tottenham, beat Crystal Palace. So that's 5 wins. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 draws. And a loss. 5 wins, 6 draws, and 1 loss. 5 wins, 6 draws, and 1 loss in their last 12 matches, dating back to November 1st. That is not good. Nobody could sit here and watch this video right now and tell me that's good. But it's been a weird year, guys. Still on top, and they still top their Champions League group, went through to the round of 60. You know what I mean? So there you go. There you have it. You know what I'm saying? What more could I say? But for a champion team like Liverpool, who ran away with the title last season, this has been a serious drop-off. This has been a serious drop-off in form. Injuries, yeah, definitely injuries have definitely hurt Liverpool. Matip injured again. Van Dijk, Gomez, Naby Keita could never stay fit. Thiago Alcantara just coming back. Oxlade-Chamberlain. You have Alisson was out, injured for a while. You know what I'm saying? Right about now, Liverpool can't afford any more injuries. If Fabinho gets injured right now, knock on wood, I'm not wishing for him to get injured. But if he gets injured right now, Liverpool could be in a lot of trouble. I know what I said, could. Never said would. Could be in a lot of trouble. You see what I mean? But guys, look, man, I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. At the end of the day, ended in a draw. I think it was Liverpool's game to lose. They should have won the game. But Carl Darlow, big hero, even hugging Mane, stopping him from getting off a shot there. Maybe Mane would not have hit the ball. You never know. You know what I'm saying? But we have a question here from 8744. Dom, what percentage you give United to win the league? Do you know that shit actually crossed my mind when I was upstairs? I was like, whoa, United could actually win the league. They could actually win the league. You know what I'm saying? Dane Richards, Dom, we should collab one day. I started a channel today. Keep working on the channel. I'll check it out whenever I have time. And if you bring in the fire content, maybe we could collab. Not promising anything. No promises here. See what I'm saying? No promises, but I'm definitely open to collabing with people. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? But all the best on your journey, though. Any more questions? Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? There have been news circulating about questions over the COVID-19 situation in the Premier League, and the Premier League has came out and said they had planned to do, there were suggestions that there should be a 2-week break in the new year, but they haven't. They're not going to implement that, and they're backing the government and continuing with the Premier League despite all these postponements, despite all these positive tests, despite what's going on across the EFL with about 30 plus matches being postponed. You know what I mean? It's a weird one, man. It's a weird one, and it's a stressful situation we are all under. I think my boss is stressed out. You know what I'm saying? I think he's at work. He's stressed out, and he doesn't like to be corrected. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't like to be corrected. You feel me? He does not. But I won't get into that right now. But look, any more questions before I go? Are you doing FIFA tonight? Yeah, I'm going to do FIFA as soon as I'm done with this because the boy Liam is sleeping and I could only do it when he's sleeping. But what I have to say before I go, though, well played to Newcastle United. Definitely well played. You guys played well enough to deserve the point. Could have even picked up a goal today and possibly win the match, you know. But they held their own, man. After losing their last 5 games against Liverpool in the Premier League, they have not won since 2015, as I said. And they have not enjoyed a lot of success against Liverpool. Let's just put it that way. Let us just put it that way. You know what I'm saying? So since the turn of the new century, Newcastle have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins. 8 wins in about 30 matches or so against Liverpool. So they could celebrate today, and it does feel like a win for them. But as I said, the last 0-0 draw between these two teams, you have to go all the way back to 1974, man. 1974 for the last time these teams picked up a 0-0 draw. You had Rick Clements in goal, the late Rick Clements. You had Bill Shankly, the manager. You know what I'm saying? And those are some of the most notable names that was in the Liverpool team back then. So, good game. Good game. As a City fan, GG, man. GG, Newcastle. But I ain't celebrating because the same thing could happen to me on Sunday on Sunday when we play Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not celebrating people's downfall right about now. Liverpool are still on top of the league. So most likely they are still the favorites to go on and win the damn thing. So we could just all chill out. Until somebody else is on the top, we can chill out. All right? So, guys, thanks to everybody who turned out. I don't want to make this super, super long. I've been going on and on and on for about 30 minutes. Appreciate everybody who came through. Make sure you like the video. And we will talk again tomorrow, guys. We will talk again tomorrow. So, you guys want to know what happened? Fox Williams is saying, what happened with your boss, man? What happened with your boss, man? All right, let me tell you the story with my boss, man. So, I'm a mechanic, so they give me something to work on with a transmission for old 22-year-old vehicles that's part of the fleet. The transmission isn't shifting. I'm no transmission expert. No one on the job is. They usually send out all the transmission work to vendors because the place is always running some type of scheme by sending out the work to run little under the table schemes. And we don't get a chance to actually do that type of work. So I got the job. Bam. I did what I could do. Took suggestions. Flush the fluid. Change the filter. Make sure the level is good. Road test it. Same thing. I'm like, listen, man. I can't figure out what the problem is. Is either you give it to somebody else or you just use it like that or whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's not like the vehicles are going 100 miles per hour or anything. So that's that. I had something else to do. I did that. But where I came in with the boss now, where I made a problem for myself is there's a time clock where you punch in, and then there's the login computer where you log on to your work order. So my boss, all of a sudden today, decides that we need to log into the computer after having done it for the whole year. I'm like, okay. So then I try to log in, and it's actually frozen. So when he comes back, I'm like, I tried to log in, it froze. You know what I'm saying? It froze up. Since I started working here back in 2012, this has been the same program, a different computer, but the same exact program. Obviously, it's going to give problems. It's not up to date. I said, why don't you guys upgrade the program? So he says, what do you think I'm going to do? Bring something fancy in here that nobody can understand? I'm like, yeah, this is 2020, 2021. People would get it. So I don't know if he starts to take offense to that or whatever. But I'm just having a little chit chat, which was my mistake. I should have never done that. I'm bright. You're bright, as they say in the islands. I should have never even tried to talk to this guy because I know this guy's a certified dickhead. Should have never, ever tried to do that. But then I said to him, if you guys upgraded the time clock about 3 times, now you have facial recognition time clock, why you can't upgrade the program that we use? So he says, something. He shrugs it off, and then he goes in the office, sits on it for like half a minute, 30 seconds, and then he says, why you here 7 years and you didn't fix the transmission? So I'm like, why the need to clap back though? I said, why the need to clap back at me? I didn't mean anything by what I said. Why are you taking it personal and clapping back at me about a job that you didn't really give a damn about 5 minutes ago, but now you're trying to make a big deal out of it? You know what I'm saying? I said, why? It's unnecessary that you're clapping back right now. You know? And there's an audience too, so he don't like that. So then I said to him, why mention of a time clock with facial recognition, and then you want us, because of COVID-19, you said we have a time clock with facial recognition. We have a time clock for facial recognition because of COVID-19, and we shouldn't be touching the time clock. We have everybody touching the time clock. You could transmit the damn virus. I said to him, why do we need to log into a computer then if everybody's going to be touching the keyboard and the mouse? Makes perfect sense. So then he decides to be vindictive and takes it further. I'm done, I'm done. I said to him, the mistake that I made was to even talk to you in the first place. Should have never said nothing to you. That was my mistake. Because all the time I've been working, every time you say something to this guy, he takes offense. Like he has this syndrome and he has this inferiority kind of, superiority, I should say, complex. Like he's better than you and stuff like that. You see what I mean? So because I made him look stupid, not intentionally, but he was trying to make me look stupid, but he's not smart. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you beat the final boss, the game don't like that. You see what I'm saying? The game doesn't like that. On top of that, I went back. They called me in the office to say, hey, how long you work on this? I said, I work on this such and such time. It wasn't 8 hours. It was only like 3 to 4 hours. And I said, by the way, I apologize for the whole Millie earlier. No need for that. Let's move on. As a man, I'm apologizing. I'm being a man. Let it go. It's not personal here. So now that he really can't use the personal thing against me, he can't use the personal thing against me because it's personal. He can't use it. I didn't do anything wrong either. He's now trying to instigate the whole transmission thing and the whole time thing and say, yeah, I accept your apology. But when you come back next week, Monday, we'll talk in the hearing if I get this transmission to work after I check the thing that you didn't check. I'm like, okay, you do you. You do what you have to do. Little does he know, I don't have work next Monday. I'm off for the week. So whatever he has to do has to wait until I go back. You see what I mean? But it's all good, man. I'm blessed. I'll be okay. I'm blessed. That's why it's good to have a skill. I have a skill. So if they say, hey, man, you're fired. You're fired. And I doubt it'll get to that because of something so stupid. I'll be okay, man. So that's the story. You guys wanted to hear the story, and I saw that a lot of you guys stuck around to hear the story. But I know it was my mistake to even poke that wasp nest. I should have never messed with that guy. That guy is a certified asshole, man. I'm telling you guys this. This guy feels like he's never right. You give good ideas, he doesn't take them. He's never wrong. That's what I meant. He's never wrong. And people like that, I don't want to deal with. So push come to shove. Once this whole thing blows over, I'm done with that guy. I'm not even saying good morning. I'm done with him. I see that guy, I say nothing. To be honest, nothing. I just go in, do whatever I have to do. Make sure I do it good so he doesn't come back and say, hey, why you didn't do this? I don't want nothing to do with that guy in 2021. I'm done with him. Yeah, man. Dom versus the final boss. I'm done with him, man. I'm done. This has been too much of a stressful year for him to even do this. I've been going to work for the last 9 months, and for him to come and bring this right now, he bringing the smoke. That tells a lot, man. That tells a lot. But the fact that I apologized, he should have just said, okay, I like that you did that. You're a man. At least you're being real, you know what I mean? But he does not, he wants people to fear him. He feeds off that fear that the employees have for him. And I ain't going to do that. I ain't going to do that. But guys, that's the story, man. That's the story. You see what I'm saying? But Fox Williams is saying you try to have an intelligent convo with an unintelligent person. That was a mistake. Know your audience. You're right. You're right, man. For somebody who has been working as a mechanic shop maintenance manager or director, supervisor for since 1985, he has not grown. He has not learned a goddamn thing. He himself does not know how to fix the transmission. So it is whatever. It is whatever. You know what I'm saying? Dominic, bring the work story times, please. We need these videos. You agree? Well, I always mix it up, man. I always mix up the stories within the football thing. I always do this. You know what I'm saying? Always, always. The LFC, this just shows how fragile humans could be. No matter how rich or poor, you always be vulnerable to some sort of a capitalist or pandemic. Yep. Yo, I did nothing wrong, but he's looking for something to actually get me with. Even after I left and went home, he let somebody else look at the vehicles that I was working on to try to find some type of problem. This is what this guy has been doing. But it's all good, man. It's all good, man. That's a show on ABC. Go check it out. It's all good, man. A spin-off from Breaking Bad. I'm good. I'm blessed. I'll be all right. Doesn't matter the outcome. I'll be good, man. As long as I have life, health, and strength, my boy Liam, my wife, my kids, I'm fine. And last but not least, you guys in the chat right now. But guys, I'm your boy Dominic Rich. I'm about to leave. I gotta go do some gaming, so you could check out Dominic Rich Gaming if you want to join me over there. I want to do a little gaming before this boy wakes up. You know what I'm saying? That's the only opportunity I actually get to game. So, you know, hard luck, Liverpool. You know, great 1 point for Newcastle. They grounded out and they did their thing, man. But guys, thanks for listening to my story. It was nice venting to you guys. I don't like to be in situations like this, but I put myself in a situation. So I got to deal with the consequences and move on with my life. You know what I mean? But from your boy, Dominic Rich, until next time, peace out. Rich Squad.